Today on the podcast, I'm joined by Sarah. If her voice sounds familiar to your ears, it's because she's been narrating our latest Podfic Theater, A Christmas Wish, written by Aspiren Forest, cover art donated to us by Lisa Robles. Thank you so much, ladies. Today we are drinking Lambrusco on the cast because we have a lot to celebrate. But first, the business of the day. Sarah and I recorded A Christmas Wish over the holiday season. We recorded 7 chapters and posted 3. It was a real experience. We were recording chapters as they were being written. There are 20 plus chapters of Aspiren Forest's Christmas Wish. We got a lot of positive feedback. If you'd like to read A Christmas Wish in its entirety, I will leave it in the show notes, a link to the story on Archive of Our Own. As a performer reading Kara, what came through for you, Sarah?
Reading the role of Kara just showed me what a kind soul she was.
Are you excited now that you're going to be watching a few episodes of Supergirl this year?
Season? I think the storyline of A Christmas Wish is going to be very different. It's like what a shipper's dream would be rather than what's really happening on the show.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, when I read Lena, I went to my Edward Cullen place. I imagined Lena as a vampire staring unbreakingly at Kara for hours while she slept. And I tried to put that inflection in my voice. So there it is. If you have a story you'd like us to publish, currently I'm looking for shorts that are 5,000 words. Preferably, since it is audio, we are looking to work with things that have heavy dialogue and less description. Your work doesn't need to be perfect, nor does it need to be finished. I will produce it to the best of my ability and try to honor the intent in which it was created. I think it's important that we tell these stories because they're not always represented in the media, which is why I'm doing this segment. And thank you, Sarah, for partaking in the show today. Thank you so much.
Of course. My pleasure.
In other business, drum roll please, I applied for a Colexicon on a whim, and as of today, What About That TV recap and review will be attending as press.
Woo!
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Breathe.
I felt a giant hole in my heart when Adair left the show. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know if I was going to continue this journey, but then Kevin Bachhelder reached out to me, and he helped me just by answering every question I ever had about podcasting, and one of them was about cons, and he encouraged me to apply, which I did at the very last second, and now we're in. We're going.
We're in. Doesn't that sound amazing?
It's amazing. Sarah and I have spent the morning looking up Las Vegas hotels and booking flights, and it turns out between the two of us we have enough miles to go for free $99, and Sarah had a free deal on hotels, so it looks like we're going to be staying where?
Excalibur.
Oh my god. It's across the street from the Tropicana. So we are going to be attending the con, which is very, very excited. I turned in the application at the very last second, and I was just so surprised. And now, dare I say it, we're journalists. Much like Kara Danvers, we will be super journalists, bringing you all the coverage of Colexicon. As much as we can, because there's so much going on that week. There's so much. I was looking at the schedule. I was like, oh my god, I want to go and do everything at the con. Which is so
many amazing sounding
events, right?
To partake in.
Yeah.
Like, you're really going to have to be Supergirl
to be able to handle it all
of those.
Well, we're going to split the work and try and break it into double shifts, so I'll go to one thing, so I'll go to the other thing, and yeah, so this is just amazing. I have no friends outside of Sarah, of course.
That's a blanket statement.
I have no friends, so if you are like with me with no friends and you find yourself attending Colexicon, can we please meet up? I will be that awkward girl with the camera and some sound equipment flying solo. Please, can we meet up and just have a great con together? If you'd like to reach us about having some pod fiction produced in our Podfic Theater or meeting up at Calexicon, email us at whataboutthat17@gmail.com. That's whataboutthat17@gmail.com.
Make sure it's dat.
Yeah.
What about dat? D-A-T.
Yeah, that's a very important, that's very important. Okay, so today we are going to start the podcast by playing a game called Between the Lines. So last week on the show, Sarah and I did a whole podcast dedicated to some of the other shows we've watched that we don't always have the opportunity to talk about. Turns out Sarah really loves self-development shows and has actually not watched much or any of Supergirl Season 4. All she knows is what she's read as Kara Danvers in A Christmas Wish. You see how extraordinary this is, right? Sarah doesn't know Lames or Monhell. She's a bubble girl whose only exposure has ever been that of the fictionalized supercorp on the level that is created at Archive of Our Own. To her, her reality is just literally Kara and Lena in every other scenario making it real. To get her ready for her podcasting duties today on the show, I had Sarah do a little homework. A little show prep, if you will. I went onto Nikki Sky's YouTube channel and had Sarah watch every Supergirl crack video for Season 4.
You're so sexy, sexy, sexy.
You gotta get gay. Go. Go, I've gotta go.
The goal was to see if by watching Supergirl crack, Sarah could read between the lines and figure out what the actual plot for Season 4 was. I'm going to ask Sarah a series of questions, and we'll see how many of them actually are in the show. Are you ready, Sarah?
I'm ready.
Okay, first question. How long did Kara Danvers and Waverly Earp date?
Waverly Earp?
Yes.
Come on, that's a trick question.
Yes, that is a trick question. I was just checking to see if you were paying attention. What is Lames and why are they together?
Lames is Lena and James, and it's called Lames because it's so lame.
Why are they together?
To make people who ship things really angry.
What is Lena doing with the heart in the jar?
Well, she is a mad scientist.
She's not mad, she's quite sane. You don't know what she's doing with the heart in the jar?
I don't know what she's doing with the heart in the jar.
Just real quick. There's a
Thank
heart
you.
in the jar. She was doing some tests, and she may have killed somebody. There it is. There it is. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
And the heart in the jar is part of her test, and she found out recently that she can imbue humans with superpowers.
Wow.
So, I'm bringing you up to speed. Has Kara Danvers ever been to Russia?
No.
That is correct. Is Lena Luthor turning evil?
No. But a lot of people are trying to make her turn evil.
Yes. You got that from the crack?
Yes.
Awesome. Is Manchester Black a soccer team or a vengeful killer?
A vengeful killer.
That was actually very correct. Why is Manchester Black a vengeful killer?
He's just mad at people.
Is it A, he lost his fiancée, B, he's a spy, or C, he just likes to kill things?
C, he just likes to kill things.
That is true. He does like killing things, but that was actually, he liked killing things only after he lost his fiancée. They killed his fiancée to perpetuate his storyline and turn him into an antagonist. What's John's new prerogative? What kind of alien is John, and what are his powers?
That's hard to say from the crack.
Yeah, I could see.
He's a Martian, right?
Yes, he's a Martian. That's correct. What are his powers?
No idea.
What? Martian Manhunter, his powers are, he's a chameleon. He's a shapeshifter.
He's a mind wiper.
Yes. Oh, that's much. You got that from the crack? That, like, literally was one little scene in the crack. Okay. What is the ship name of Brainiac and Ian Null?
Brainial.
Brainial.
I don't know.
No, there's many ship names.
Brainial.
Brainial. Brainy.
I like Brainial.
You know what? To each their own. People gonna ship what they want to ship, and I agree with you.
Let me ship what I want to ship.
Yeah. Who is Neonal, and why should Brainy get together and date her? Go.
She's so sweet looking.
Who is the guy in the middle mask? What's the name of his followers? In the crack.
The Jabberwockies?
That they do look like Jabberwockies. In case you don't know what a Jabberwocky was, in like the early 2000s, Mario Lopez had this TV show called The Next Great Dance Crew. Jabberwockies were a dance crew that wore hoodies with like white masks. They looked just like these dudes. That was a very good guess in the dark. They are called, I think, the Children of Liberty, and they are basically anti-alien sentiments. They're the alt-right of the Supergirl world, running around in masks, just terrorizing aliens. They look to me a little schlumpy in with hoodies. I just wish their costumes were a little
like overgrown teens.
They do. Okay. Why is James mad at Lena?
She's always busy and never gives him any of her time.
Alex Danvers' hair looks extra gay this season.
Agreed.
That was not a question. It was just a statement. Who is the lady giving Alex Danvers a hard time every other week?
Haley. What's up with her?
She's giving her a hard time every week.
Aside from the ship of Haley and Alex.
Yes, the crack does make it look like Haley and Alex are in love. I will give you that. What happened to President Marsden? Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
No idea.
She was an alien posing as a human who made it to become...
Posing as an alien who was posing as a human?
Posing as an alien. No, stop it. You're confusing me. She was an alien posing as a human who ran for president, got the presidency, created the Alien Amnesty Act, which Cara Danvers supported in season 1. It was to allow, I guess, alien citizenship at the planet Earth, protect alien rights. Mm-hmm. And basically, the people found out that their president was an alien. President Marsden stepped down, and that act was made null and void. Terrible. Now we have a new president. We don't know much about him, but we know he doesn't like aliens as much, and he sent General Haley to watch Alex Danvers back at the DEO. Okay, that's who she is. That's what's been happening. The crack, he can only tell you so much. Yeah. I feel like you've passed the test. We can talk about something else now. And now it's time for the Wardrobe of the Week.
Wardrobe of the Week.
This week, the Wardrobe of the Week goes to Alex Danvers. Looking chic in her Tegan Quinn short leather, or is it pleather? Because she considers the animals jacket. It also goes to Lena Luthor, looking amazing as ever in her navy dress with bright splashes of red and blue, matching the computer screen in James Olsen's office. The dress was so eye-catching, do you agree?
Oh yeah, eyes caught.
It pulls the focus from what was happening between lames in the scene. For just a moment, my mind went blank and I was completely in another place, contemplating this outfit, as James's mouth movement making blah 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 sounds like the adult characters in Charlie Brown and Snoopy.
And that's
Wardrobe of the Week.
And now it's time for the Salty Supergirl Review. Ew. Episode synopsis.
This episode gave us truth seekers, invisible aliens, brainy Null, lames being lame, and Lena. She had great work chemistry with the couch, her Peloton bike, computers, science in general. But all of that was null and void because the last 5 minutes were the best acted scenes in the episode. So let's talk about it.
Alex has been her secret keeper for so long, and how does that affect Cara Danvers' psyche as a being? How does it affect her when she can no longer bring her whole self to Alex on a day-to-day basis? She has no one else she can reveal herself to now. Really, the only person left for her is who is aware of her identity is Jean. So that's all she has. And I mean, she does have Jean, and Jean is a father figure, but it's just going to be a very, very different dynamic with Cara and Alex not knowing each other. And we just had an Elseworld, which they mentioned in the episode, that in the Elseworld, Cara visited a world where Alex didn't know who Cara was, where they weren't sisters, in that they had lived a whole life not being sisters. And the Alex Danvers that existed in Elseworlds,
she had a pretty sad existence. She was still in the closet. She was angry. She worked at the DEO, but she was a workaholic. I don't think that is what will happen to Alex in this world, but I'm very curious to see what does become of Alex now that she has been separated from Supergirl. Nia Nall becoming a sidekick to Kara Danvers feels appropriate. What did you think of that?
I thought that was really a fun addition. I'm looking forward to seeing how they make her into a superhero, what her outfit looks like, what her powers are.
Her outfit is available on Twitter. It's been making the rounds. She's got a full onesie, none of the skirt business. She looks great. I feel like she's the right character to be sidekick to Kara Danvers. I feel like in the past, the show tried to make Mon-El a sidekick to Kara Danvers. That was a huge story point in season 2. And he was being mentored by Kara. But that relationship was skewed when they decided to turn Mon-El into a love interest. I guess one of the major plot points that's been cooking for a while now is that Lena has discovered a way to imbue to imbue humans with superhero powers. This is going to be huge because ethically, should she do it or should she just leave humanity alone? I'm in the boat of her leaving humanity alone and not giving powers to anyone else. I feel like her telling James and James being so open about it, it felt like a little out of character for James. It felt like the James we've been given is someone who is very ethically correct, and it felt like his decision to support Lena didn't really ally with who he is as a character. And from what we've seen him do as a character, he has always been very forthright and the first person to say, no, this is wrong. And during the scene, a few episodes back, they had a Thanksgiving scene where James was adamant against playing God and using, the ability to give humans power. He was adamantly against that. And in this episode, he changes his mind and decides to really side with Lena on this. And I feel like this leads me to a prediction. I predict that Lena's going to test her newfound technology on James. I think that that's where we're going with this. It feels like the show has really dug deep with James.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of an empty box void character of any form of personality and plot. But I feel like every season they commit to trying to explore who he is to a fault. And I feel like that
they're trying too hard.
They're trying so hard to find something with this character.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to just give him powers. And it's what I don't really want to see happen. So my prediction is based on what I don't want to see happen. Because I usually do what I don't want to see happening.
Great.
Yeah. I also feel like, what did you think of the Lames relationship? This was your first time. Like, you watched a lot of crack.
Yeah.
You watched so much crack.
Yeah, I think that it looks lame. You can tell there's no chemistry. It's kind of a little stale.
They've been together now for, I think, a really long time, actually. I think since Christmas episode of last season, it's been a really, really long relationship. It's been a long winter.
It looks crispy.
And it's just like, if you turn off the sound and you just play the episode,
right,
you could never tell that they were a couple.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Like, they could try a little harder.
I don't know.
To make it seem
I don't know. It's like, one of the things, since you're new to this, it's like Katie McGrath has so much chemistry with, like, pretty much everyone on the show, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
all of a sudden it gets to him and it's just dry.
It's dry.
Central.
It's very dry. And it's not fun to watch.
No, I agree.
It makes watching the show difficult. It really, really does.
So which character do you think is not really receptive?
Well, James for sure, so far for me. I think that the person who makes up for the lack of chemistry is Brainiac as like a male supportive character on the show. Everybody he interacts with, he has really great chemistry with. Like, I love his interactions with Alex and between the two of them, their co-worker relationship. I love that. I think he works really well with Kara. I think he works amazingly with Nia Nall. He's an example of like a male character written really well with a really slow burn on his relationship with Nia Nall. Like, they've really taken the time to create chemistry, create dialogue, show why these two characters really belong together, and they have this cute little like puppy dog relationship, and he is figuring out what it is to be human. They're doing things with Brainiac that I wish they'd done with Manal. They're doing things with the relationship that I wish they would have done with James if they were going to put him with Lena, but they just never did that. They didn't. They didn't do the homework. They didn't spend the time. They didn't show us that they cared for that relationship. They just forced it to happen.
Right.
Watching Brainiac really makes it palatable for me.
Kind of a shame because the show shouldn't be palatable. You know,
yeah.
It should be exciting. And so that is definitely a relationship that could use some TLC.
Well, TLC, or if it's not working, speaking to James and Lena, you just gotta cut it, nip it in the butt. I didn't mean to like get negative so much. I didn't really want to go there. But, you know, I have to be honest about this episode. I felt like the Alex Danvers Kara stuff, the last 5 minutes of Alex and Kara, to me, that was like a B+. The actual plot of the week, that's like a C- because it was hard for me to follow. The pacing. The Brainy Nall and the Brainy Nall stuff, I give that a B-. And the James Lena stuff, I give that a D-. We're in F territory. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I agree.
If you have to give this episode a scale of 1 through 5, what do you want to give that?
Maybe
a scale 1 through 10.
Okay, maybe a 5.
You give it a 5?
Yeah.
This episode, I give it a 4. Like, overall, giving it a 4. The last 5 minutes saved it for me from being a 3. And I've never scored anything as low as a 3.
Do you hear that?
Predictions.
She's never scored anything as low as a 3.
I know.
Get it together, CW.
Yeah. Predictions for the episode. Okay, do you have any predictions? Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what happens with the relationship of Alex and Kara in the next episode. That'll be something I'll be looking for.
Do you think that Alex is going to remain with her temporary amnesia, amnesia for a long period of time?
That something's going to happen that's going to put them back in touch with that, commonality, and so she can continue to... Maybe
when Alex gets her memories of Kara back, maybe it will happen in time with Lena finding out who Supergirl is. It's like, that to me is like the biggest question that I'm interested in seeing. In the coming weeks, we are going to be seeing Lex Luthor joining the show. I'm very interested to see how John Cryer fits into the show. You just know Lena's discovered the ability to give humans powers. You know Lex Luthor has always wanted to have superpowers as a human. So I feel like we have a recipe for disaster to look forward to. I'm a little nervous because I feel like last season, the show fell off the rails in the second part of the season. I'm hoping to see a cohesive second part of the show. Anyway, so those are my predictions. It's been great reviewing with you today. Please be sure to hit us up at whatabout_that on Twitter, or you can like and subscribe to us on our YouTube account. If you have something for us to produce, a pod fiction, hit us up at whataboutthat17@gmail.com. I will be leaving that in the show notes for you. We will talk soon. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you later. Bye. Jen here. What About That TV Recap and Review announced their new patron account. This is a great opportunity for the podcast to grow to new heights, bringing you cool and exciting new extras. We will leave a link to the Patreon account in tonight's show description. If you like the podcast, feel free to follow us on Twitter, shoot on over to our iTunes, and give us a 5-star rating and write a review. A little love goes a long way towards growing the cast.